Next Monday, Labor Day, a day off from work and school? Since the word labor means to work, it seems odd to me to call a national holiday Work Day. The day is actually meant to be a break or a rest from one's work. It's also to be a day in which we acknowledge and honor those in the American workforce. Both the US and Canada recognize Labor Day on the first Monday of September. Now, while it's a holiday, a rest from labor, over the years, this day has become associated with many other things. It marks the end of summer. And back in my day, it meant the beginning of a new school year. However, in recent years, with school starting in August, Labor Day has become the first school holiday. Now, most people would agree that Labor Day marks the end of summer and the beginning of fall, even in areas where summertime weather and fun stretches well into September and October. Now, it's interesting, in generations past, Labor Day also marked an unspoken rule of not wearing white clothing beyond the summer months. Well, not so anymore. That rule has been abandoned with an anything goes type of dress code. For some people, Labor Day is a time for parties, parades, and other celebrations. Maybe it's a time of rest. And perhaps many pause to remember and appreciate the workforce in our nation that has contributed to making our nation great. In the late 19th century, during the United States Industrial Revolution, most jobs for average Americans were in manufacturing. The manufacturing jobs of that time were very different from the manufacturing jobs of today. People worked long hours, 12-hour shifts, and a 7-day work week, with barely adequate pay to meet their basic needs. Safety codes and protective measures were almost non-existent, and children aged 5 and up were eligible to join the workforce, but for a much smaller paycheck under the same strenuous, unsafe working conditions. Following God's 6 days of creating, he rested. And when he gave the law to the nation of Israel, he commanded that his pattern of work, then rest, be followed. Exodus chapter 20. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall not do any work, or your son, or daughter, manservant, maidservant, cattle, or stranger that's within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. The Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Work is important, but so is rest. A break from work is important for our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. God prescribed a day of rest for our benefit. So in this fast-paced world, when everything seems to move at a 24/7 rate of business, take time to Sabbath, to rest. On Monday, Labor Day, remember the labor force that has made America a stronger, more prosperous nation, and determined to set a weekly Labor Day, a Sabbath, when you make time for physical, mental, and emotional rest and rejuvenation. This has been Coffee with Carney.